So you bought an old Porsche with a dogleg transmission because you thought it'd be indie and cool and maybe even help you stand out at parties. But now you're realizing that no one knows what the fuck a dogleg even is or why anyone would be dumb enough to want first gear off in its own little world. And while your friends get to go fiddle with their normal shift linkages when things start to get sloppy, your transaxle is on the floor and you have to push a rod out of a shift coupling, whatever the hell that is. Well, it's this. And this is a vise. I'm going to use this and a bunch of random sockets and bolts to put these two bushings back in and fix my extremely loose shifting. Because Ferdinand forbid this coupling could just be replaceable like it is on the 911. In essence, we're trying to create an uneven pressure so that this rod can essentially just slide out of this. It takes a lot of pressure, and we can't apply too much pressure on that aluminum piece at the top. So everything has to be a set of sockets and bolts. You'll see me switch between a bunch here because I bought a cheap vise and it doesn't have a ton of space. So there'll be a lot of switching throughout the entire video. Now that the rod is out, everything slides loose and we can finally put the bushings in. Of course, the bushing also needs the vise to be pushed in. Then on the other side, you can't push it in without going through everything else. So you end up having to slide a little coin in there. I think a quarter would work. This is a random Indonesian coin. And you can just press that side in as well because it stops the hole on one side. And then once you're done with that, it's really important to make sure you've aligned the guide rod the correct way. There are obviously two ways you could put it in to the coupling, and if you get it wrong, you will be kicking yourself when you're putting it back into the car. And then you kind of just press the pin back in. Again, using the vise. This time I'm using some business cards to kind of relieve the pressure on the aluminum. And you just tighten it back in. Use the coin at the very end. Just get that little bit left. And voila, it's done. A pretty complicated but doable way to avoid using a hydraulic press.